Hello and good morning everyone. So in my previous videos I have shown you format of email writing and notice writing. Okay, so today I thought of discussing active and passive voice, and in this pandemic situation I am making all these videos so that I may be helpful to some of the students who are having problem regarding the grammatical rules. Okay, so today we will start with active and passive voice, and if you like my videos, please like, share and comment and subscribe my channel. Okay, so first, basic rules of active and passive voice that we will do. There are 6 basic rules of active and passive voice. So first rule is in the active voice, the subject performs the action. So this is the basic rule. In rule 1, in active voice, the subject performs the action. Now we will see some examples to understand it. So for example, I am writing Sarah adjusted her helmet. Sarah adjusted her helmet. Now what do we see here? What is the subject over here? Subject is Sarah. This is the subject or doer of the action, or doer of the action. Okay, and what is the object? Object is helmet. Object is helmet. So the subject Sarah, here we can see that the subject Sarah is performing the action adjusted. The subject Sarah is performing the action adjusted, and the object helmet is receiving the action. The object helmet is receiving the action. So as the subject Sarah is performing the action, so this sentence is in active voice. Okay, so this sentence is in active voice. Okay, so this is the basic rule. Rule 1 clear. Now we move on to rule 2. What is rule 2? In the passive voice, the action is performed on the subject. In the passive voice, the action is performed on the subject. Okay, sorry. Now let us see one example. Now what is the example we can see? The picture was painted by Sunny. Okay, so here what is the subject? Here this picture is subject, and who is the object? Here Sunny is the object. Okay, so the subject picture is receiving the action over here. The subject, the picture is receiving the action, was painted. Okay, and the object Sunny is performing this action. and the object Sunny is performing this action. So what is the rule that we can see here? That as the subject is being acted upon, as the subject, the picture is being acted upon or is receiving the action painted, that is why this is passive voice. That is why this is passive voice. Now, one thing we have to keep it in mind, that passive voice is used when the doer of the action is not known. Sometimes passive voice is used when the doer of the action is not known. For example, if I write one example, Jack was given the award. Jack was given the award. Now here, which is the subject? Jack. Jack is the subject. Okay. Who, and it is receiving the action. Receiving the action of given. Okay, it is receiving the action. Now we do not know who is the doer of the action. Jack was given the award, but we don't know that who is performing this action of giving the award to Jack. Okay, but this sentence is in passive voice. Although we don't know the doer of the action here, but this sentence is in passive voice. Okay, so we can say that the active voice is more direct. Okay, so it is preferable to use the active voice wherever possible. It is preferable to use active voice wherever possible. Now, however, the passive voice may be used. However, this you can write down. Passive voice may be used when the doer of the action is unknown. Just now I have shown you one example. Jack was given the award. So when the doer of the action is unknown, we can use passive voice. And we can also use it if the writer wishes to emphasize on the receiver of the action. So if the writer wishes to emphasize on the receiver of the action, then also we can use passive voice. Okay. So here we rule 2 ends. Now we move on to rule 3. What is rule 3? Rule 3 is when a sentence is changed from active to passive voice, the subject becomes the object and vice versa. When a sentence is changed from active to passive voice, the subject becomes the object and the object becomes the subject, or which is known as vice versa. Okay, this is the general rule we all know. Now we can see this using an example. For example, Arjun washes the dishes. Arjun washes the dishes. Now what do we see here? We see Arjun is the subject, the dishes is the object. Okay, so this is in active voice. The sentence is in active voice. Now if we change this sentence into passive voice, the dishes are washed by Arjun. The dishes are washed by Arjun. Now what do we see here? Here the dishes is subject and Arjun is object. The sentence is in passive voice. Okay, so what do we see? That in active voice, the object was the dishes. So it becomes the subject in passive voice. And in active voice, Arjun was subject. That becomes the object in passive voice. Okay, so the verb washes, it is easy. The subject is becoming object and the object is becoming subject. Now what about the verb washes? Now the verb washes in active voice, it changes to its past participle form. Washed. Washes changes to its past participle form. Washed. Okay, and the correct form of the verb, that is be verb, correct form of the be verb, that is are, is added after it, because dishes is in plural. So that's why subject verb agreement with plural subject, plural be verb, are is used. Now the past participle form of the verb will be followed by the preposition by. So this is the general rule. The subject will become the object will become the subject, and the verb washes, which is used in the active voice, it will change to its past participle form, washed. Be verb, correct form of the be verb will be used are, as the subject is plural dishes, and after the past participle form of the verb, the preposition by will be used. Okay, now sometimes a sentence in the active voice cannot be changed into passive voice. I am showing you one example. Sometimes a sentence in active voice cannot be changed into passive voice. For example, Rita slept for 8 hours. Rita slept for 8 hours last night. Now, this sentence cannot be changed into passive voice. Now, why? First, we will see the subject. Which is the subject? This is subject. Okay? And slept is intransitive verb. Slept is intransitive verb. Intransitive verb means verb that are not followed by an object. Verb which is not followed by an object. Now in this sentence there is no object. Rita slept for 8 hours last night. So we have the subject Rita, we have the verb slept, but after slept there is no object. So the slept is intransitive verb. Therefore a passive sentence cannot be formed. Therefore a passive sentence cannot be formed here. Understood? Okay, so in the next video we will learn the next 3 rules Okay.